What has taken place so far has been a murder outside my mother's house. You hear the skit, we go outside, we're trying to, I'm asking that they call 911. Unfortunately, the kid, his name is Mikey, he loses his life. And then we go into a little bit of Mikey's journey. First, you hear the perspective of the murder weapon, the gun. And the song is called "The Pistol's Praise." And the song is basically, the gun is about like, yo, why y'all so shocked? Why is everybody crying? Why y'all hurt? Y'all worship me. Y'all listen to music that celebrates me all day. You turn up to it. Like, what? Why? Hold up. Like, and then it even goes into the murder of Mikey. Like, I don't get it. Why were you begging for your life? You love me. You was just singing about me. Like, yo, I thought you would want some of this action that you enjoy so much. I thought you would be excited to experience this. It's hypocritical. Pow. And then, just to highlight, like, yo, culture worships guns. It's like an idol, bro. Like how much we celebrate it in music, and we love it until that violence comes to your front door. It hits close to home. So that's a pistol's praise. And then it goes into Mikey's journey. We all know all too many times, a lot of us have been to funerals before, and it's always, man, they're in a better place. You hear the skit with the homies and like, yo, he probably rolling one up with God right now with some shorties on his lap in paradise. And that's, I've said things like that in the past. Yo, he a good one, man, the good die young. And then you hear at the same time, simultaneously, like a message from him. He's like, nah, I'm not. If only y'all could hear me, I'm not in a better place. And then it goes into a song where I unpack that more, called A Better Place. And then you get a word from the sponsor, and you see the type of party that is in hell, that he's taking a place, and you hear a message directly from Satan. And that song is called Club Hades. That's where you see the little picture. It's like, yeah, he's in the club now where ain't no way out. You know what I'm saying? And then you hear the skit where now I'm back outside. It's the next day. My man's like, yo, you good? I'm like, yeah, yo, who was you? Hear someone crying in the background. There's a mural across the street, candles and all that. And I'm like, yo, this is sad. Who is this kid? And I never seen him. They're like, yeah, you did. He was just a little kid. Now he grown. He's 17. And they explain what happens, just gang violence. And, he was like, I guess they banged blood because some Crips came through. They slid on him and caught him in front of your mother's house. And then they like, so we out here trying to figure out how we gonna get our get back, because I don't know who gave them the green light to come out here and do what they want. So though Mikey ain't down with them, but he from the block, and they're like, you can't just slide on the block. So we gonna get them back. And I end with, come on, like, yo, be a leader. I'm talking to somebody that's obviously the leader, and I'm like, yo, man, like, instead of destroying the community, build, like, yo, yeah, be the difference. And they like, man, I ain't trying to hear it now. You hear this dude? Like, they making fun of me. And it ends right there. And yeah, I don't know if we could go right into it. The next,
I don't want to stop the momentum. It's like, for me, it continues. The only thing I would say is interesting, because I think the church has gotten very far away from talking about. We all talk about heaven, like you said, but it is very bold on this album that it's almost like when Jesus told the parable of Lazarus and the rich man, and he said they both died and one ended up in flames. And he literally said, can you have Lazarus just go back and say, if somebody rises from the dead, they'll know how terrifying this place is. And then the master answered and said, even if one rises from the dead, they still won't believe, right? Yeah. And I think that whole moment of those songs reminds me of that. And it is the heart of what Jesus is saying. Once you're dead, there's no do-over.
Yeah.
Death is, we know that, we like to say it's a comma and we move on, but it's a finality in this life.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important. So I don't want to stop the momentum. I would like to continue.
Yeah, let's go. So right now it's Act 3. Now we get into where every time you hear like a record reverse, it's because we talk about something, and then the story goes back as far as the song, and the song unpacks that more in a past sense. So that's a clue for you. Every time you hear the record reverse, you know that the next record that follows is gonna be in the past tense, where I'm kind of unpacking that more. So they'll paint a scenario like, I know who you really are, and go backwards, and I'm talking about how I felt in those scenarios in that moment. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's go.
Let me set the scene. For this memorial, there's candles placed around a picture frame, and there's a patch of blood that stains the ground. There's a mother crying, God, why did you take my child? As she's breaking